What's happening, Hardscapers? Today we've got a special episode. Back in November, I visited a job site of NRX Landscaping. You can find them on Instagram. Nick and Rocco had just finished up a project there, a uniquely designed driveway, and I went out there to talk to them about the project, everything that went into that project, and just did a quick little interview and job walkthrough with them. And if you're interested in more from Nick and Rocco of NRX Landscaping, you can actually subscribe to the How to Hardscape podcast, and we did a 1-hour interview sitting down and just talking shop. Go check it out, How to Hardscape Podcast. So here is that episode.
So we started this project about a week and a half ago. We had some hiccups with weather. We had a bunch of snow. It was a lot of freezing. So yeah, we broke ground. And we had to do quite a big extension over here. Our main objective was to maximize parking space. Yeah. So when we go through the project, you'll see that this used to be a single car garage. Now you can fit upwards of 5 vehicles on the driveway.
Yeah. When we first started, actually, we came here, there were other contractors that were supposed to do their job, and then eventually they handed over the project to Afshin. Afshin hired us, and they left a mess. There was a concrete pad right in front of the garage that was also bowed out and poured too high, so we had to cut out all the concrete, take it all out. It was maybe, 7-8 inches?
Oh, at least, yeah. 7-8 inches of concrete, very, very poorly installed concrete.
Yeah. So everything had to come back out, get rid of everything, excavate everything.
So the one thing you don't see over here is there's about a 3-foot drop off between properties, between this property and the neighboring property. So we had to install a pretty heavy duty retaining wall over here. They're big blocks, the 4-foot by 16 inch by 7 inch in height, so they're about 350 pounds each. So we had to put we put a concrete pad at the very bottom, and then we used a stone grabber, a stone claw, to drop them in with our excavator, because we didn't have very much space. It was pretty narrow in there, tight. But we got it nicely level. And then our main objective was to not show as much of that stone, so we wanted to cover it with some nice flagstone on top. So we put the nice 2-inch antique limestone.
I wanted to tie everything together, so we ended up putting flagstone all over the porch to hide all the bowed concrete. So everything is 2-inch rebated copings along the perimeter, and then 2-inch caps all around the wall.
Even on the window well, same thing, 2-inch copings. That window is recessed quite a bit. I guess they never thought that there would be an extension of interlock all the way over there, but that's what we did. We wanted to lighten up the space quite a bit. We wanted to go color-wise. We wanted to create a theme of black and white, gray, to kind of match the house. The house right now, it does match the driveway, but it's going to match the driveway even more because they're doing the white stucco all along the entire facade in the front. And then there's a lot of black trim, a black door, black window frames, a lot of black themes as well. So we wanted to create an aesthetic that really matches the modern feel of the home as well.
Yeah, exactly. So when we look at a house, we look at the features. Is it modern? Is it rustic? What color schemes are we going to go with? And then we kind of tailor the bricks and the patterns to match the home.
So with this one, it actually took quite a bit of math, because we wanted to figure out how many rows of black should we start with to end with the exact same amount of rows of the gray at the end. And we almost had it. So ideally it was supposed to end with just 7 rows of gray at the end, but we didn't take into account that extension for the extra car on a 45, it actually creates more distance. So we did have to, unfortunately, put an extra couple rows of black, but I think it turned out pretty good. It still, from a bird's eye view, it still creates a really cool aesthetic where one color blends into the other. So we really like that kind of feel. We've seen a lot of different contractors use like a hexa brick or a diamond brick, where they've kind of started with one color and then use the other color, the other side, and kind of mashed it in. What we wanted to do is create a linear version of that on a 45. And then we really wanted to put lights somewhere in the project. We didn't want to overwhelm it with lights, but we wanted to have a nice focal point, so why not put it in the black strip right in the middle of the driveway. We used 10 in-ground lights. It's all hardwired to the same system that's connected to the garden bed over there. And there's 4 under cap lights, and it's all connected to a transformer and a timer. The homeowner can set it to whatever time they want.
Yeah, you attach it to your phone and you have everything handy.
There's an adjacent street over here. We're on a major street, York Mills Road. Anytime we brought in our machines, in or out, we had to bring our trailers, park it on the side street over here, and then drive everything into here. We did that a lot with any kind of material materials that we brought in here, it was very difficult to back a trailer into here with this being a major street. So a lot of the times we would park on that street over there, we get our forks and our skid steer, and then we would ride it over and kind of just park it right on the grass over there. For bins, we had both concrete bins and clean fill bins coming in. We had to remove a lot of the existing concrete that was there before from the original contractor. And then also we needed quite a few clean fill dumps as well.
It was quite a nightmare actually, because we had to stop traffic and the delivery trucks are coming during prime time, 9 a.m. So we have to go here, block traffic with some pylons, have the driver back up onto the lawn to either pick up the bins, or we had a couple trucks come for aggregates jumping onto the driveway. When we ever had to pick up skids, we would just leave them over there and then take our machines and just go down the sidewalk. So
it's funny, for most of the aggregates that came in here, they came in a dump truck. So they would just back up onto the driveway, dump it, and then we would kind of move it around. For the screeding layer, we use HPB, 1/4 inch, sometimes 3/8. It varies in the size that we got it from. And then we were actually a little short, so we had to bring it in our trailer, and then once again, trailer on the side street, and then bring in skid steer buckets, just one by one.
And one of the challenges of actually getting the HPB during this time of year is a lot of it freezes and clumps. So we actually spent some time breaking up the HPB so we could spread it over.
Yeah, in some very frozen areas, we had to pour a little bit of gasoline on the HPB and light it up just to thaw it out a little bit.
Yeah.
On our last little screeding.
We know how to get it done, I guess.
Yeah, we will get it done. We'll get it done. When I started using open graded base about 7-8 years ago, I didn't really know how well it would hold up. Those jobs that I've done 7-8 years ago, I've come back. I come back. I'm sure most hardscapers check out their old jobs. They look great.
Especially with water, I find that because we have snow melts, we have thawing, we have freezing, we like aggregates that'll drain all the water pretty thoroughly.
We compact the ground below our 3/4 clear significantly. We always use a geotextile to separate the soil from the aggregate, and then we're big proponents of geogrid. So if you look in between the layers of our wall, it all ties into the base.
Yeah. How do we get clients to let us do our thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess we could all trace it back to one project in particular. I'm not going to go into details, specifics, but this was a client that allowed us to be creative with his house. After that, we started pushing that creativity up to other clients. And what happened was a trickle effect. We would do a job that's very unique for a client, and then their friends would come and see that and say, hey, can you do something unique for us as well? So that's what we did. And every single one, we tried to kind of one up from the one before, and then we found our sweet spot with what we can get away with.
And I think when we first started, our biggest barrier was basically ourselves. Do we want to try something bold and out there and kind of put it out on the line? Or do we want to stick with the same cookie cutter? And we decided to put it out there. It was well received, and then we just kept going with it.
Yeah, a lot of these projects that we do, they obviously require a lot more time. It's not just a 3-size combo where we can just lay it in really quickly, do a driveway in and out one day. These jobs, they take us a long time to do. At the end result, we look back at the job and we feel accomplished. Now I have almost an addiction to get featured on How to Hardscape. We've been featured on Tackle Block, on Unilog's Instagram pages, and it's something that we really thrive for, and it's kind of it shows us that we're doing the right thing. I love when I see other contractors doing cool new things, and this is as unique as it can be, but I do take inspiration from so many different contractors. Kudos to everybody that kind of does.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool designs out there that we really appreciate, and that we kind of try and base our ideas on a lot of influences out there.
Hey, if you enjoy this episode, please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment below about what you found interesting about their process or about the design. If you want to hear more from Nick and Rocco of NRX Landscaping, you need to subscribe to the How to Hardscape podcast. Today, I released an episode on the podcast with them, an hour-long interview diving into everything from how they got started in this industry to the tools, equipment, and processes, systems that they use, from sales and everything in their business. So if that interests you, go subscribe to the How to Hardscape podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find podcasts, and listen to that episode there. Also, if you like this series where I go out and visit somebody else's job site, let me know in the comments that you want more of this content, just so I know. That like button, that subscribe button, it's there, it's waiting for you to hit it. And thank you for watching.